Hello, everybody. Happy Saturday evening. Gosh, uh, haircuts in the time of coronavirus. I realized I wanted a haircut and I wasn't likely to be able to get one for at least a few weeks, if not longer. Decided to do it myself. Went a little shorter than I intended. So, your quiz question for extra credit for this particular video message is uh, what snafu is the latest coronavirus snafu for me? And it would be my haircut, using a number 2 instead of a 3 or 4 or 5 with the clippers. I hope you guys are all doing well and attending to your beauty needs as they are. I just wanted to give you a brief video message regarding the exam, which is coming up on Monday. The exam will be available starting Monday at 8 a.m. You'll have until Thursday night at midnight or 11:59 p.m. to submit it. So you can take it any time during those 4 days. You will only have a limited time to do it. So once you start it, you'll have 90 minutes in which to complete the exam. So it'll be open book. You can use your textbook, your notes, the formula sheet, basically anything you want. But don't count on being able to look up the answer to every question because with 90 minutes, you will not have time to do that. So you'll want to be somewhat familiar with the textbook and which pages talk about which concepts. You can use the slides, of course, from the lecture. But again, you'll want to know kind of where to go to look for an answer. So study at least a little bit. I don't want you guys to have the wrong idea with it being open book. I also wanted to just show you briefly what the exam will look like on D2L. So this is the instructions, or what is called the introduction in D2L. As it says, the exam's worth 100 points. It's open book. You'll have 90 minutes. And then an important point here. For the short answer and computation questions, you will be graded on the final answer you give. However, you are encouraged to show your work, okay? And there are two different ways you could do that. You can include your work in the dialog box for the particular question, or you can use pen and paper as you're taking the exam. And when you're finished, take a picture or pictures of your work, the paper that you've used, and upload it to the Dropbox folder. So there's a new Dropbox folder called Exam Work. And you can just upload your work on your pen and paper, or on your paper that you've used, to that folder. Just make sure when you're doing that, as you're going through the exam and you know, making notes or doing your calculations and computations, make sure you put the question number next to your work for that question. So that when I'm looking at it, I know, okay, this is the work for question 25, for example. If I can't match the work to the question, or if I can't read your writing at all, I will not be able to give you credit. So important, when you're doing the exam, just write down the question number and then do your doodling or computing or whatever you need to do, and upload it when you are finished. I will give you partial credit for your work, even if the final answer that you arrive at is incorrect. And another note about that, for the short answer and computation questions, since this is our first go round at doing these type of questions and an online exam at all in D2L, I'm going to be pretty liberal with the grading. So do your best. That doesn't mean I'm going to give you full credit just for making an attempt. But if I can tell that you have understood which formula to use and you've made some kind of good faith effort to select the right formula and put in the right numbers and it shows that you do understand the basic nature of the question, I'll give you some credit. So I don't want you to stress out too much. Definitely do not stress out too much about um, putting the answer in D2L in the right format. So I'm just going to show you quickly what I'm talking about there. So when you take the exam, another bonus of watching this video message will be you'll get a little preview of what that's going to look like, I think. Okay. All right. So if my screen would work here, there's going to be a multiple choice section where you have various questions and you just choose your answer. And then I'm going to scroll quickly through that to some short answer questions like, was this result statistically significant? And here, so you don't necessarily need to show work for every single short answer or computation question, right? Here I can just say yes, because the t-value has a p-value, the t-value that's given has a p-value of less than 0.05, right? So I don't really need to calculate anything. There's no crazy symbols that I can't include in this dialog box for the question. And so for this one, I'm going to put my full answer in the dialog box, and that's fine. For this question, for example, what's the value of r squared? I might say r squared equals t squared divided by, right? You get the idea here. So if you want to, on with pen and paper, write out the formula and put in the numbers and do your calculations and show your work that way, that's fine. If you want to type out r squared and t squared divided by this way, that's also fine. I am much less concerned with how you tell me what you know than I am concerned with what you know. Okay, so as long as I can figure out what it is you're trying to say, whether it's in the dialog box here or on pen and paper, I will give you credit. Okay, don't worry about formatting. That you can't do an italicized R with a superscript 2, for squared. I really do not want anyone stressing out about that. Okay. I believe that's it in terms of the exam. I will send this video or upload this video, and then I'll also send a copy of the instructions just so everyone can look at them well in advance of the exam and ask me any questions if you have questions. I will do my best to get back to you guys in a timely fashion, although I may not be immediately available next week when you are getting ready to take the exam. All right. I hope you're all still doing really well, that everyone is healthy and not too stressed by classes and all of the changes and staying at home. And I will talk to you again soon. Okay. Thank you.